But before we make it to January, we have some other things to do. Welcome back, everybody.
Yay!
Yay!
Last we left
Woo!
our heroes, we are in the city of Tremonto. We have just reached our first night here in the city. You guys did quite a bit of exploring over the course of the day, meeting quite a few people, finding quite a few webs to untangle. One of the ones that you guys had happened to come across first, you're kind of finding out some more info about the Red Hoods, which is the Thieves Guild that operates here in Tremonto, as well as a bit of a drug problem on the streets with Black Lotus. Um, in the form of an eyedropper that people use to kind of go on a little bit of a trip. Uh, there was some investigation done, and and also as well as the missing jeweler's apprentice, which these things seem to be related through a mysterious figure with a name you heard, Lorenzo. Seems to be behind a lot of this. You follow the trail of the Black Lotus to the Gilded Oasis, which is a nightclub in the entertainment district, where you were able to find a dealer there and question him and get some information. Afterwards, you guys had went about your. Some of you had gone off on your separate ways to spend the evening. Professor opting to stay the night at the Sailor's Haven, which is the inn up at the up in like the docks district. Um, Jade and Reverie had decided to stay at the Civic Rest House, which is the inn closer to the government section of the city, and the rest of you are at Palazzo Goldwater. When we last left off, let me bring y'all to the map, and then I will not talk for about 30 seconds so that I do not become a robot. Not that. Not 30 seconds. That's a little long.
30 seconds for robot to stop.
I mean, you could try.
Stop the robot. That's not the name of that song.
So, how's the audio coming through?
A little choppy, but not so bad.
Yeah. So as we left off, the professor was in the Sailor's
Oh,
Haven.
so
Is it still
you're
bad?
roboting.
Still bad?
Yep. Yep.
Domo
You're still roboting.
arigato, Mr. Roboto, domo.
I don't know why it lasts for so long. I think it's got to be an issue with Chrome. It has to be an issue with Chrome.
I think
Maybe.
it just
Good.
likes to mess with you.
Multiple.
You're good now.
All right.
Maybe we just need
Hey,
to
look,
get
when you
you
complain,
like.
it works better.
Maybe we need to get you like a nice, awesome, like we're breaking into NASA kind of setup thing going on. Won't
Oh,
happen.
we're gonna break it in NASA? Let's go.
I mean,
Nope.
I want to see all those pictures that they have hidden about all the cool space stuff. So yeah.
Seems fair.
Okay, now you can go.
Okay. So after a bit of an intense conversation, where Marcus kind of suggested that you guys kind of take the evening
Going to time out.
to chill out for a bit. Professor going off to Sailor's Haven, contemplating the marble. Ren heading back to Palazzo Goldwater and eating all the apples in the orchard.
I made myself at home. They told me I could.
Nargo had some tea time with Marcus, where also she found out that the twin note that she sent Marcus, what was actually in Marcus's possession, not the twin note. So where are those messages coming from?
That's weird.
Comes to find Yuki working out some aggression and some hurt feelings in the gym. Had a little bit of a one-on-one spar. Reverie and Jade kind of retreating to the Civic Rest House to have a quiet evening where we are going to pick up for the evening. So, Jade had a bit of a conversation with David in the chat while Reverie was sleeping. Is there anything that you guys would like to cover as we open for the evening?
I think Jade just stays tucked away for now. Just in that space underneath the desk, watching Reverie and the rest of the room.
Right.
I got nothing.
Does Jade trance at any point this evening?
Yes.
Okay. Jade,
Oh no.
while you are trancing, there is a bit of a kind of... There's a bit of a rush that takes you out of your trance. You feel a sudden cool breeze on the back of your neck. And you hear Grandmama's voice in your head.
Okay.
When she says, "Darling, did you leave the windows open?"
No. No, the windows in the windows in the room were closed. I think I hear that and immediately come out of my trance to look around the room.
As you look around the room, you see Mara is hovering over Reverie, waking her up by kind of flapping her wings in Reverie's face. It's a bit
That's
disorienting.
rude. What the heck?
It's a bit disorienting for a second, but as you guys kind of catch yourself and you look around, you see the windows that have opened. I just ruined the moment because I did not have ready what I thought I had ready.
The moment wasn't ruined until you said that.
Yeah, we had
It's
no
also
idea.
it's also not ruined at all.
Facts.
Just say dun dun dun.
Dun,
Dramatic
dun,
pause. And then you're good.
dun.
You're building
Alright, we're in.
suspense. All good.
You look around the room, and as you look behind you, you swear you left the windows closed, but the windows, all three of them in this room, are wide open. And through one of the windows, you see a particularly grotesque face.
Oh,
Oh no!
Ooh,
You really throwing
awesome.
slots at us?
Why?
An arm? That's an
What?
arm. Let's go.
Is this the
Oh.
third thing you're gonna try to have eat Reverie?
Go.
God damn it!
I'm going to move everyone to another map. I don't know if everyone's going to have vision here, but we're going to move to this map.
Are we going
Oh,
into
God.
initiative? Shit, how we gotta get across town?
Well,
Two of us.
Reverie and
danger.
Jade are.
that's what happens when you split the party.
I have no idea if you guys can see this or
Nah, I
not.
can't see anything.
Yeah.
Nah, I can't see
Give them-
shit. This is a real nice dark map. I love it.
Give them
Yeah.
vision on like a token or something.
I
Or just do like daylight mode.
guess I could do daylight mode. Do I have daylight mode on?
I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work if we're not even on the map.
Just
Oh.
drag their tokens into like
I
the
do have
corner or
daylight
something.
mode. Yeah, let me drag a token in. Let's
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm having a great time.
let's put a David the skull in. Oh god, that's a huge skull.
Oh my goodness.
David is bad.
David is
Get the
angry.
frog, David.
Get him, David.
Nice, tiny. Oh god. Here,
It's tiny.
I'll
Moving.
put David in the corner. I think if I just give everyone control of it, then you should all be able to see it. How's that?
Oh, I see things.
Oh yeah.
I'm in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is this an acid break-in thing we were hearing about?
Yeah, so, you see this frog start to enter, into the room. The other windows open, there is a bit of darkness that follows in and starts to coalesce into these, humanoid shapes. Yeah, they're not looking too friendly. So we're gonna go ahead and roll some initiatives.
Okay. Well, I have advantage on that because my dagger of warning. Thank you, Grandma. $23 for Jade. And I will click on my token to get me into the combat.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
Don't you have a Twilight feature that lets you give advantage on initiative to someone?
Yeah. I have to be next to them though. I have to touch them.
You're right next to Reverie.
Are we actually together, or are we across the room?
Wherever you guys are, you can situate yourselves wherever you would be.
Okay, because as soon as the dagger, as soon as I get basically woken up, I will lunge across the room to get to Reverie on the bed. So yeah, give yourself advantage on your initiative, Reverie.
$17 it is.
17. Hey, 17 is better than.
So these things come creeping into your room. Neither you guys are not surprised. You see this coming, and they are clearly not looking very friendly. Jade with the dagger of warning, you are first to act.
Okay. Okay. Then I am going to so scramble across the room to get onto the bed with Reverie to make sure she's awake as these things come in. And I am going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Very nice.
So we're gonna cast some Spirit Guardians here and see if I can catch some of these guys in this aura already. So that's 15 foot. Whoop.
Oh, you know, I don't think I didn't scale this properly. I'm gonna set your aura actually to 7.5 because I scaled you down by half, but I didn't scale the map scale down by half.
That's no problem.
Because it's such a small room, I didn't see the need to do it.
Yes, but such a big bed.
It's a huge bed. This room is mostly bed, and it's great. So I'm going to get to Reverie. I'm going to make sure she's beside me. I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians. And they need to make a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw.
Can you post that spell?
Yes.
Okay, so DC 16 Wisdom save.
Yep.
It's cooked. Okay, Frog Guy fails.
Good.
I don't know, like irradiant damage.
No, both shadows fail. What's the damage?
Let me double check something. So that's going to be 16 points of radiant damage.
Okay. Well, so the shadows are vulnerable. They instantly dissipate from your spirit guardians.
Ah! Yay!
Just gone.
Yeah. So the room around Jade and Reverie light up as from the ground where her spirit guardians, as she casts this aura, just the shadows of people pull themselves up off of the floor until they coalesce into the visions of her sisters, who immediately lunge and attack these shadows and drag them back down underneath the bed, leaving the rest of them up here with this guy. This guy.
Fucking
That's-
guy.
This fucking guy. Fucking guy. And I don't think I have any other bonus action. Do I have any bonus actions I can do right now? No, that's everything that I want to do at the moment.
All right. Reverie.
I was not here last week. Were any of my resources used?
I don't believe so. No.
It was a roleplay only episode for most of us.
Yes. Yeah, you should have everything.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we decided not to have Naruko and Yuki actually roll dice to punch each other. That would not have gone well.
Okay.
I think
And next question: windows are here, here, and here where the creature's entered.
Yes.
Okay. Now I get to do my typical Ben thing. Which part of the town are the windows facing?
Was not prepared for that question.
so.
So the windows to the north are pointing towards like the front of the building. The window to the east is pointing towards like a side alley. So like the one that the frog is in front of is pointing towards the side alley. The one to the north, the ones to the north, they're pointing towards like the front of the building, where outside there's a bit of like a little square that's out in front of the building.
So I can see further out of the north windows.
Yes.
And okay, no, that's all that matters. Free action dismiss Mara.
Okay.
Come on, Jade, we're leaving.
Yes, okay.
And can I see like a rooftop like 400 feet that way or whatever?
I would say the rooftops across the way. Yeah, they're not that far. They're probably about 20 to 30 feet. So 20 to 30 feet will get you to the rooftop of the building that's kind of across the way from the inn.
I'm trying to get as far away as the mentioned door will possibly get me.
Actually, you can get to the other side of the canal. Because there's like a row of buildings like 30 feet away from that window. Beyond that is one of the canals of the city, which stretches for a bit of an expanse, and then beyond that there are more rooftops and stuff. So you're probably looking at about a good 200 to 300 feet away if you were to completely cross the canal.
Fantastic. Last question before I go through with this plan. I know Jade was talking with David earlier. Is David on Jade's person?
Oh yes, like Jade absolutely has David.
Cool. I'm casting Dimension Door and grabbing Jade's hand.
I take Reverie's hand.
Just leaving.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that'll end that combat.
Unless there's more of them out there.
Yeah, why are we being hunted, Joe?
The same reason as always.
I mean, so this thing with no hope of catching up to you, you guys are going to be like, hang on. Yeah, that'll work. I have the box that's around the area as like a token that I have in a locked position.
No worries.
There you go. You guys are like over there, like across the channel.
Like, are we over here, like by this big place, or are we over here on this one?
You're here.
Okay.
The important location that we don't know yet, that we're now discovering.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, this thing has
Jade?
no hope of following you, so yeah, I'll take us out of combat.
Fantastic. Jade,
What was that?
I don't know.
Okay, we need to go. We need to go. We need to go. We need to go. We need to go.
Are they,
Where do we go?
after me, or they just? Was that an arm in its mouth?
I think it was an arm in its mouth. I don't know. It was either I shut those windows. I shut the windows. I promise I shut the windows.
No, I know you did.
Okay. We've got to go. We've got where are we? Where are we? We can go. There's the workshop. The workshop where Marcus's uncle is. We can go there. There's always people there.
Great, good idea. And we're just gonna head that way.
We're gonna go to the docks, to the dockyard with where Marcus's uncle is at.
So you're gonna go to the Goldwater Trading Company.
Yeah.
Okay.
He says he doesn't sleep, and it's in the opposite direction of that thing.
All right. So you guys make your way off through the city. It takes a good while to kind of cross all the way, but being as early as it is in the morning, you're probably looking like 4 o'clock in the morning, something like that. There's really not a lot of foot traffic out. The streets are dark, but they are lit with like these flame-like lanterns. So you can still make your way across pretty easily, but there are plenty of like tiny little alleyways and passages that you can kind of make your way through. And if you want to make sure you're not followed, they're pretty twisty, turny, windy. So it wouldn't be very hard to do.
Okay.
So we only get lost 3 times.
Can I roll to see if anybody's following?
Yeah, give a perception check.
I don't trust the triple dice. A 19. Sorry, 17.
On a 17, I'd say you're fairly certain that with your quick movements and quick thinking and able to just kind of like bamf out of there real fast and duck into the shadows and move about, you guys are pretty light on your feet. I would say you're pretty confident that you have not been followed.
Okay. I'm gonna summon Mara up in the air and as like a lookout just in case.
Okay. So you have Mara kind of hovering above you guys as you make your way to the Goldwater Trading Company.
Yep. I've got my hand on that dagger.
The travel across the city is actually pretty uneventful, other than probably a bit of anxiety, heart racing. But you're able to make your way to the Goldwater Trading Company, where there are plenty of lights on around the building. You can hear, workers on the docks. This is probably like the start of their day. As some of the ships are coming in, you can kind of hear the shouts of sailors and I guess longshoremen kind of unloading things and starting to do their thing.
I guess we just still holding referee's hand to just try to walk up to the same door we went in last time and see if someone's there that can let us in.
I think you will find that the door to the main door to the building is currently locked. There's nobody outside. They're not really expecting visitors at this hour.
Just knock at it.
Is it like a knock, or are you like pounding on the door?
It's a frantic like there's someone after me kind of knocking.
So you're knocking on the door, and you kind of hear like some confused voices from the other side of the wall. And as the door opens, you are met with a friendly face, or familiar face, I should say. You see Borin.
Hello.
Wh- What?
We didn't know where else to go, and there's a monster chasing us.
There's a. All right, come on, get in.
Thank you. Just scurry inside with Reverie.
He'll kind of escort you inside. He'll take a look outside the door, look up and down the alley one way or the other, and then he'll close and lock the door behind you. He says, What in the devil's name are you doing in this hour?"
Well, we were sleeping, and then the things came through the room and the windows, and I shut the windows, and we were on like the second floor, and I don't know what it was.
It was like a giant frog with an arm for a tongue that had fingers.
It was like it ate someone. I don't know.
Are you sure you weren't just having a bad dream?
I don't sleep.
You don't sleep? Well, I guess that makes sense. He kind of like looks at the pointy ears, clocks you as an elf. Did you see it too, looking at Reverie?
Yes.
Alright, well, you can, I can set you up in the, I can
We
set
just
you
have
up
a place
in
to sleep.
the lunchroom?
Okay,
Great.
that's fine.
Don't have, like, any pillows or blankets or anything like that, though, I'm sorry to say.
No, that's okay. It's okay. We didn't know where else to go, and we knew people would be here.
Alright, come on. And he'll lead you inside to, like, their like, lunchroom break area. Pulls a couple of drinks out of an ice box and gives it to you guys, non-alcoholic. It's like
This is a workplace. We can get crushed underneath a heavy thing.
It's like the equivalent of like Pepsi or Mountain Dew. He pulls out.
You each get a cola, and one of those like foil blankets.
So he kind of lets you in. He makes you as comfortable as he can. He says, I don't know if this will be very comfortable to sleep, but you're welcome to try. And I can't. I would be honest. I don't really know what to do. Because I do have to get back to work. But I can come back and check on you every once in a while, make sure you're all right.
That's okay. Thank you. Is Mr. Goldwater here?
The boss will be in later this morning. He's due to be in probably in a couple of hours.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah. And he kind of walks out and goes back.
Thank you.
Kind of gives you a bit of a wave as he walks off.
Are you okay, Reverie?
Oh, sure. I'm just trying to be eaten or captured or murdered. I'm fine. Just Tuesday.
It's well. She just hugs you.
I hug you
gonna be
back.
okay. Well, they won't be able to get in here. There's too many people here.
Maybe.
When did you learn how to do that?
Recently. I haven't had a need to use it yet. I'm still
Can you do-
deciphering most of this public.
Well, I'm glad you were able to decipher that one. Could you do it again? If you needed to?
I doubt it.
Okay. Well, it's good to know that you can do it at least once. I suppose we wait here for a bit.
We're gonna need to contact the others. Do you think they're okay?
I mean, they're all together, so I'm sure they're fine.
Didn't the professor go somewhere else?
I think they were. They was
Oh, the professor's. Never
Professor
mind.
was supposed to stay with us, but he didn't. So I think he went with everyone else.
Okay. Um. Okay. Well, if we can contact them sooner rather than later, hopefully.
I don't have a way to. I don't have a way to call them from this far, but I can write in our note, and I won't wake them up, but they'll at least have it. Do you think we should have gone there?
This was a good choice. I mean, you knew that people would be here, so
Right. People here, and it's a long way away from where we were at, so can't catch us if we keep moving, right?
right, which we're not doing right now.
Well, no, but I think we ran a long way, and I didn't see it, so I didn't see it behind us. Maybe it got lost.
Well, Mara is outside keeping watch, so we'll have
Jade
a
will
heads
just
up.
pull. Jade will pull the dagger out and lay it in her lap, and she'll say, "Grandmama's here too."
Okay, right. Yeah, we're okay.
All right. Yes, you're okay.
So are you? We made it out safe.
I don't think they're after me, Reverie. Unless this place just has a frog problem. Joe is giggling.
It's possible.
I was waiting for her to say frog problem.
You were.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
well, let's catch our breath here for a little bit, and then we'll meet up with the others.
I was going to tell you when you woke up, but would you get some rest, and we'll talk more when you're rested.
Tell me what?
Am I the friend last night?
Oh,
He's going to help us.
who?
Well, he didn't give me a name, so I'm calling him Kevin.
Reverie raises one eyebrow.
He talked to me through David. It wasn't actually a person in the room.
Oh.
Don't tell the others yet.
Sure.
Okay. And then settle in somewhere that we can see like the whole of this lunchroom, and just write a little note on the twin note to all my friends if it makes it there. And I'll just I'll write in it. Good morning. We were attacked. We're safe. We're with Mr. Goldwater.
those of you who have the twin note in the group message that are not staying within the walls of Palazzo Goldwater, your little twin note.
Does the orchard count?
The orchard does not count. So, if you are in the orchard, you will also get a buzz on your twin note thanks to Naruko's upgrade of the system.
Oh.
Get a little
Buzz,
vibrate.
bitches.
Get a little
It's the
vibrate.
twin note too.
Yeah, Ren.
Slimmer and more slimmer than all the others.
So I guess that would be Ren and Professor. If you guys have twin notes with you, it's gonna be early morning hours. We're talking probably 5-6 o'clock in the morning at this point. If Jade, if you're doing this kind of right away as you guys get settled.
Yeah, probably like as we get settled in there. I'll write the note so that they have it. It doesn't make any sounds or anything, right?
Just vibrates.
Just vibrates a little bit.
Just vibrates.
So, just tell Reverie. I don't know that when they'll see it, but at least they'll have it, if they check it this morning.
So yeah, wee hours in the morning, Professor Ren, you get a little buzzing from your twin note.
Yeah. Ren's doing a concern. That is not good. Naruko will want to know sooner than later. I will have to go find her. Farewell, apples.
She didn't say where they were now, did she?
No, I just said we were with Mr. Goldwater.
Which doesn't help us know which
No,
of the
doesn't help.
it is.
Yeah, it's very unhelpful information, honestly.
Yeah, that's Jade.
It is not at all pointed or succinct.
No.
It's just we were attacked. We're fine. We're with someone else. Who are you with? Where are you? No idea. Not part of the message.
Response back, where are you?
Do you actually are you awake when this comes over? Or
Wait a minute. Redcon. Twin note doesn't
Retcon.
fucking work in here.
that's right. It doesn't. So I do write the message.
You write it, but
Oh,
nothing happens.
never mind. We don't know
Nothing
anything.
happens. Yeah.
Well, shit.
Yeah. So I'll write the message and I'll say to everybody, okay, I wrote the message. They should have it in the morning when they wake up. So
We ain't gonna have shit. I love this game.
It's great.
Well,
That's
I guess Ren's gonna go back to nap with his apples.
I don't know. It doesn't work.
that's magic, and I don't think it's going to work.
Well, David is magic and David works. Maybe it's just our magic that doesn't work.
Yeah, but David is a being. Hey, is my mental connection with Mara still there?
Yeah, the mental connection's still there. Yeah.
Do I get the sense that anybody's following yet from Mara?
Have Bar give me a perception check with advantage.
Oh, hold on. Let me pull up Owl.
Well, it's a familiar, doesn't it? It doesn't use your stats, does it?
No.
Oh.
Now she's got her own.
It whispered it, but
Yeah, I
there
see.
you go.
Mara
This
is Mara is certain that you guys were not followed.
Cool. I'm gonna send a mental image to Mara of her beating her wings against Naruko's head to wake Naruko up.
Dick move.
Are you sending Mara off back to Palazzo Goldwater to wake Narco up? Is that what the
Yes.
intent is?
That is what the intent is.
Okay. Narco, do you sleep with the windows closed or open?
Well, we have this annoying habit of assassins and kidnappers
Yeah.
trying to ambush us, so I'm pretty sure the windows are closed.
So I
And
think.
locked.
So I think then, again, in the wee hours of the morning, Narco, you kind of hear a tick, 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 like on the glass of the window, as Mara is like trying to knock at it with her beak.
So Arby being on guard probably notices this first. Would recognize Mara as a familiar. Decide it's probably worth investigating. So Arby will open the door with a statement of greetings.
Ben, what would you have Mara do as the window is opened?
Kind of take off and like fly toward us a little ways and then come back to make sure that they're following. And if they're not following, then like get annoyed.
So
yeah.
Yeah, Arby like will rouse Nariko in the process of like trying to figure out what the hell the owl is doing. Nariko, still fucking sore from her little engagement with Yuki, bleary-eyed, walks over to the window, sees Mara being an annoying ass owl trying to sort of like fly in a direction and come back, and she probably clocks what's going on. I was like, okay, sure, we're up. She's going to get out her twin note and then remember, oh right, anti-magic bullshit. That won't work. But she's going to get her shit on, and she's going to go find Yuki and Ren and rouse them and say, let them know that Reveries Familiar is very clearly trying to get people to like come out. And once she gets the squad together, she's going and is out of the Goldwater state. She'll probably start trying to use the twin note to contact them to ask what the hell's going on.
Before you round the troops, as you get up and leave your room, there's a person sleeping on a chair outside your room, and you recognize this person. It's Syrian. Sleeping on a chair outside your room. As the door kind of opens and you start to rush out, he kind of like snorts and like wakes himself up out of sleep. He goes, Narco, Miss Narco. Oh, God. Oh, my head.
What?
Alistair.
What are you? What?
Alistair.
Oh,
God. Alistair wanted me to get you when you woke up. He said he wanted to talk to you.
About what?
He declined to say.
Well, I've got pressing business I have to deal with first, so I will get to him later.
All right. I'll tell him you'll see him later then.
Pencil that one into the itinerary. Still gotta go find Yuki and Ren because fucking kidnap target number 1 is clearly calling for aid.
I'm so glad we thought this plan through.
So, Yuki, Ren, where will Nariko find you?
I'm still in the orchard.
Obviously.
Obviously, why am I going to leave the apples? I'm happy here.
Yeah, that was a dumb question.
I touched grass. I'm a happy horse right now.
I'm muted. Yuki will
Hey,
be
girl.
in her. Hey. Yuki will be in her room, sleeping.
So Nariko coming around frantically knocking on doors, getting you up, kind of, I guess, making her way out to the orchard to get Ren, and gathers the troops and leaves.
Yeah.
And attempts to write in the twin note to get Jade and Reverie to respond do not work, I presume.
So as you make your way outside of the walls of Palazzo Goldwater, your twin note lights back up. You're able to use it. If you are directing a message at them, they will not receive it. if you are using kind of like the group chat function, that will alert the professor.
Yeah, that will be step 2, is alerting the professor that shit appears to be going down. We are following the familiar. I will give him updates on where in town we are so he can meet up with us wherever is convenient.
So, Professor,
I
again,
think
yeah, wee hours of the morning, you get a buzz.
like 5 a.m. wee hours.
Probably till like 6.
6. Oh, yeah. At this point, he's like full on in the kitchen teaching the cooks how to make some kind of breakfast food. He's got like a white apron on. It says "Kiss the Cook," and he's got like a big chef hat on. He's like mid like tasting a sauce when he gets in his pocket.
I love
and
that apparently all these places just let random strangers into their kitchen.
he's very
No food safety.
he kind of pulls a spoon away from his mouth and pulls his thing out of his pocket and like, oh, sorry, this will have to. Well, I'll come back. We'll continue this another time. And he'll just quickly throw off all of his stuff and kind of trot out of the Sailor's Haven and into the streets, not really knowing where to go yet, but he'll just start walking southward and look around, waiting to hear updates.
So for Team Palazzo, Mara will lead you through the streets and will lead you towards the Goldwater Training Company. I don't think it'll become apparent to you which direction Mara is flying in until like you kind of like, I don't know, what would be the quickest way? Probably.
We're literally having to trek across the whole city.
Yeah.
From one end to
So Mara probably kind of like leads you this way, and it probably won't become apparent until you get to here, like which way she's taking you, because she definitely seems to be flying in this direction.
Narco will look at the Civic Rest House with concern as Mara very clearly is like passing right by it, but not going to it. It's like, oh, this is not good.
Yep. Yeah, blows right by it.
No giant frogs.
No giant frogs. Nothing out of the ordinary is spotted as you make your way.
Open windows.
You'd see the open windows, but I don't know if that would particularly. Well, I guess it would. Well, then again, maybe it wouldn't. Open windows might not particularly strike you as strange, because there is the cool sea air that kind of comes in and out, and I don't think you guys know which room they were actually staying in.
Yeah, we went there by ourselves, so
Mm-hmm.
like we didn't get rooms and then split up, so
But yeah, follow Mara to the doors of Goldwater Trading Company, and once again in the early morning, enter looking for our people.
To answer your question, Professor, yes, you got a long rest, as well as everyone else that slept at Palazzo Goldwater. Jade and Reverie managed to get like 2 short rests in.
cool. Yeah, Jade is not. By the way, Jade is no longer trying to trance while we're here in this place.
Yeah.
Like she is watching Reverie and the rest of this room, and that is all.
Yeah, in the hours between you arriving there and Mara kind of leading everyone back, Morin does come in to check on you every once in a while and kind of make sure that things are set, and kind of just keeping like half an eye on you. But during that time, until the party gets there, kind of consider like another short rest for you.
Cool.
Since you're just kind of like huddled there and drinking Pepsi.
We're huddled there drinking Pepsi. All the guys who work here are just like, what do we do with this? I have a daughter at home. Should I bring her here? What's going on?
Well, Boren would have let the other dock workers know, hey, don't fuck with those people that are in there. They're cool.
Yeah.
for sure. So, I would say,
It's lots of lumberjack dad vibes over here.
it is probably about, probably looking at about like 6:30 in the morning when everyone kind of comes crashing together at the same time at the Goldwater Trading Company outside the door.
Okay. Still following Mara until run into wherever Reverie is. Would Mara lead us like all the way to the Pepsi room?
Yeah.
She would not.
No.
No, because she didn't go in the building.
Okay.
That's right.
Cool.
See, so I guess you would kind of see Mara just like kind of like circling around the building and kind of an indication that they would be inside.
Cool. Door locked. Am I able to just go in?
The door is locked, so you would have to like knock.
Cool. Knock, knock, knock.
Another one of the dock workers just kind of opens the door and says, "Can I help you?" Oh,
Yes, I'm.
Miss von Grutzner. I didn't expect you to be here. I would say
Neither
so
did
early
I.
in the morning, but actually at all today.
Trust me, it was not in my itinerary either. I'm looking for someone. There's a blue-skinned tiefling who I travel with. Would she by happen to be here?
Oh, yeah, Boren has him set up in the lunchroom.
Lovely. Would you please give me some directions?
Sure. He'll
Cool.
he'll let the lot of you in, lead you to the little break room where Jade and Reverie are sitting.
Narco will walk in, see Jade and Reverie sitting on beanbag chairs drinking Pepsi. She will look around, see that, okay, they don't appear to have been captured or otherwise harmed. That's great. Let out a sigh of relief and say, Reverie? Mara came to fetch me. Why are you here?
Well, some what looked to be living shadows and a giant frog with fingers on its tongue.
I think it was an arm. I think it was an arm reverie.
You might be right.
It's not typical.
Broke into our room and thanks to Mara and
Grandmama,
Jade's grandmama,
hold up the dagger.
Right.
we made it out. And I don't know if they're hunting me or if this city just has a frog problem.
That's a frog. If it's a frog and shadow problem, it's a frog problem.
Quite unusual.
Knowing our track record, I'm willing to bet that this was in fact targeted. Good on you for being able to get out.
Reverie learned a new spell.
Andy.
Really, it was.
Unfortunately, twin notes do not allow sending or receiving messages when inside warded areas, so
Oh,
I presume that's why you sent Mara to come fetch us, since you were
Yeah.
here.
That was yep. Yes. That's exactly why we did that.
Is Beverly trying to cover for herself right now?
She was perfectly fine with it, and now that she's had time to sit here and think, she now feels a little dumb for coming to a place where she can't cast spells. She can't defend herself. However, she's not about to say that in front of Jade.
Naturally.
I figured this would probably be the safest place for us to come.
Possibly. Was going the direction of Palazzo Goldwater blocked somehow?
This was further from where it was attacking us.
Well, to get back to Palazzo Goldwater after we left the rest house, we would have had to pass the rest house again. So, and it would have been a pretty long trip.
And there's people here that are awake all the time.
That makes sense.
Right. Narco asked for like full description of this thing that attacked them. Would there be a check to roll to figure out what sort of creature this might have been?
Man, that's a good question.
I love this game.
Would David know?
What?
Would it-
I will.
Think of it like a magic 8-ball.
I'll let Naruko make a check for it, if for no other reason than just to avoid like a plot spoiling know-it-all. Why don't we call it? Oh, let's call it history.
Arcana?
We'll call it history or Arcana, either one.
I will take Arcana.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to keep the nat 1 I just rolled. I will spend an inspiration.
That's worthwhile.
Okay, that's better. So 13 on the die, plus all of the bonuses comes out to 29.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think in one of your travel guides or journals or something like that, you would have read about this kind of particular creature. It's called Vanderhop.
Oh, what?
Naruko nods as like, okay, I think I read about these. It was in a magazine. I don't normally read it. It was for like young ladies of society. It had a whole section on villainous kidnappers and ones to avoid. This thing was in there. It's called a Vanderhob, and they are creatures that are summoned with shadow magic, usually for an express purpose of tracking targets. They have an actual ability to sense a creature if they have a piece of the creature or an object of the creature's in possession.
Seems problematic.
They have big mouths for swallowing and then storing their target.
What?
They can.
Jade's going to look at Reverie and then at the walls here and then back at Naruko. Can they sense them through walled buildings?
My guess is that any sort of divination that they use is probably magical in origin. So I lean towards no. Joe, 29 Arcana check. Do I have a sense one way or another?
Seems reasonable.
That would make
Yes.
this a very good place to go. Well done.
So, but yes, due to the nature of how these creatures come into being and the fact that it ambushed you with other shadowy henchmen, yeah, I think we can call this a directed kidnapping attempt.
How
Curious.
does anyone even know that Reverie is here?
We've
Been here less
walking
than a day.
about 10.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Well, if I had to take a guess, I would say that our progress has been tracked because I discovered that someone has been diverting messages between me and Marcus, because when I talked with Marcus and brought up the twin note that I sent him, he did not have it in his possession. He had a regular piece of paper that appeared to have been swapped in for it. So, chances are quite good that who I've been communicating through the letters has not been the real Marcus, and I have not been giving them all accurate updates on our progress, but I'm certain that there are people here who have been spending a great deal of effort on keeping tabs on us.
The next person or thing that comes after me is getting a fireball.
Valid.
Just not in the room.
That seems reasonable.
Don't worry, Jade. I'll get you out first.
I can get myself out. That's fine.
Maybe Reverie was spotted while we were in the nightclub, and they followed you here, or to the rescue.
I have not been trying to hide, but perhaps I should.
Well, I think it's not. I mean, we all travel together most of the time, Reverie.
Mhm.
All they have to do is figure out who the different one is.
So long as the Mystic Mechanicus is in town, they at least know that they can look around, and presumably, if they have gone far enough to have something for the Vanderhob to use as a focus, all it has to do is wander around town, and as long as it gets within a mile of you, it'll know. After that, just a matter of picking its moment.
Well, the shadow things it brought with it were pretty easy to get rid of. And she looks at Reverie and she says, do we try again tonight now that we know it's coming and just get it into a room and kill it?
I mean,
Or
if
do
we
you want-
run across one, then sure, but I don't see a point in luring one because from what Naruko was saying, somebody sent that creature. So they'll just send another.
Do you want to stay at the Goldwater's house then? So they can't come and get you at night?
Absolutely not.
Are you sure? They can't track you there.
Do we know that with 100% certainty?
No, but we do know with 100% certainty that they can get to you in another place. You have to sleep sometime, Reverie.
That's fine. I can sleep sometime. Yep.
That is the voice of a woman who is not going to sleep.
Reverie? I do think that taking rest at the Goldwater estate would be better. They won't be able to magically track you, and it is a large building. They would have to rely on more mundane means, and by all means, I sleep with a pistol under my pillow. You are free to have RB in your room as some extra defense.
Okay, but what if they're behind it?
That is entirely possible. But if in that case, it doesn't really make much of a difference because then they almost certainly always know where you are going to be. And if they can't get to you, they'll probably try to get to me. So,
Did
At
anyone
least-
else get attacked last night?
no.
No.
I ate apples.
While it
Oh.
is entirely possible that you may be attacked at Palazzo Goldwater, Reverie, at least we would be together. And we'd be able to all fight together.
You all have valid points.
If you're not comfortable, Reverie, we can go back, but it just means that we're probably going to be luring it, and then we probably won't go to sleep until after we've killed it.
No, it's fine. I'll just cast Dagger. I've got like 12 of them.
That's a really good. I mean, you're really good at that one. Not as good as Stick, but you're still really good at it.
Well, the stick is a little bigger.
The Stick is a little bit bigger.
Just think on it. If you absolutely positively do not want to be at the Palazzo, then I will come and join you for wherever you choose to take your rest.
No, I can't do that to you.
I mean, we were okay by ourselves. We were, weren't we, Reverie?
I mean, we were fine, and we did make it out rather quickly.
We did.
No, it's fine. I can stay at the Goldwaters.
If you're sure.
As sure as I'm going to be.
Just give her hand a squeeze.
Unfortunately, it's very much a case of picking the best out of not a great set of options. I do agree if we manage to find that creature again, should it make another attempt or be spotted in its lurking, we are absolutely going to pin it down and make sure it does not become a recurring issue. Anyway, would you all like to come back to Palazzo Goldwater for breakfast? I have some plans for the day. You may want to join in or take time for yourselves.
I would like to take a nap.
Do you want to go to the
Yes.
Palazzo to take a nap?
Yes, that would be fine.
Okay.
Let's go. And then we walk across town for like the 5th time since we've showed up here.
It's a really nice town.
There are water
Huh?
taxis.
Naraka will check in with Professor and see where he stayed for the night and how he doing.
He'll let her know that he stayed at the Sailor's Haven. From there, he sort of kept an eye on the comings and goings over the bridge heading to the Thieves Guild, and how there isn't much movement at least via public means.
Mm-hmm. Good information to know.
So we're all trekking back to Palazzo Goldwater. To comply.
Getting in our steps.
I totally put these things at opposite ends of the town. Did not realize it.
That's okay.
Sometimes.
They control the majority of the bay. It's fine.
It's almost like I wonder if there's some hidden storytelling here. It's like, oh yeah, no, like they'll say whatever, but Oliver really does not get along with the rest of his family. Like, there's a reason he made sure his office was really
Feels like
fucking
it.
inconvenient for anyone to just drop in on him.
I mean, strategic placement to have your business far from your home in case anything were to happen.
So as you make your way back to Palazzo Goldwater, probably looking about 8 o'clock in the morning at this point, rolling up to the front doors, you see Alistair standing there, looking very sharp, looking very proper. He stands straight. He has his hands kind of clasped behind his back, and he says, "Good morning. I did not realize you had an appointment to rush to so early this morning. Otherwise, I would have had something prepared for you upon your arise."
Oh, it was not so much an appointment as a urgent summons, but the issue is resolved. We're all back together. We would be happy to break our fast with you. I believe you had something you wish to discuss with me directly, Alistair?
Yes, whenever you have a moment, Miss von Grusner, to speak in private.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
He's waiting for us outside.
Yes, he's kind of like outside the front door.
So beyond the reach of the spell warding.
Yes.
Can I duck behind a couple of my companions and cast detect thoughts, please?
Yeah, sure.
I think half of this party at least has access to detect thoughts at this point.
I'm not looking to pry. I don't want him to know. Just surface level thoughts.
What would his surface level thoughts be?
This bitch going off early in the morning, totally unsuitable. I hope she never marries the young master. He's too good for her.
I think even his thoughts are as kind of proper as his outward speech is. He kind of, you can kind of hear him thinking to himself that it is a surprise that that you had left so early in such a rush, and that he's kind of focused on the task at hand at the moment, which is to escort you back inside and to have breakfast served. As far as I think what else you would get though is that, actually, give me an insight check with advantage since you're prying into his thoughts.
Oh no. No. Hold on, do I have another? Okay. 15 it is.
15. On a 15, you definitely feel on the surface level here as he addresses your group, although he does not show it outwardly. He's way too trained for that. He has a suspicion when he looks at and addresses the professor.
Is that all I can gather from that?
Yeah, I think the feeling that you get, the kind of vibe that you get from him, from his detect thoughts as they're directed at the professor, is that there's a bit of caution, and he almost seems hesitant to let the professor back into the building.
That's fine, because the professor is hesitant to go in that dumb building.
But outwardly, he makes no motion of this, and he does not. He won't stop anyone from coming in, as you are all invited guests.
Okay. I will make a mental note of that.
Barring anything else you guys are doing, he will lead you back inside Palazzo Goldwater, take you to the same place where you had brunch with Theodore and Catherine, and they will lay out a full spread for you, which is way more than the number of your group can have, particularly in one sitting.
Did they find more apples?
Oh yeah, apples,
Oh,
applesauce,
shit!
apple cider, apple juice.
More apples? Happy
Pancakes.
Red, happy. You know what? He thinks these guys are okay.
Pancakes, waffles, maple syrup, bacon.
Gosh, apples.
All the goodies are there. You even see Sentinel Syrian has kind of been conscripted into the house crew and is also assisting with the serving.
Oh my gosh.
He's their ranch.
Yes.
Not
Amazing.
the ranch!
Did you roll for that?
No.
Okay.
It just.
I heard the pause. I was like, did you fucking just roll for that? Because that's amazing.
No, I took a sip of water.
It's amazing regardless.
Roll for condiment.
So, over breakfast, Naruko will share with the group what she learned about sort of the affiliate business in construction materials. Has this wonderful machine that keeps being sabotaged by criminal elements. Seems to be the Red Hoods. She might even be in possession of a red coin that would be of use to us in future plans regarding the Thieves Guild headquarters. Even if not, Narco is definitely interested in this machine on its own merits, and chances are good her accelerating it being fixed again would make it a target for another attack, which could be used to catch some of these fellows red-handed and acquire some further information or tokens that way.
Whose machine and what is it supposed to do?
Narco says the information. Neville did not take notes. He does not remember all the names.
I love that game.
So TLDR version. Marcus mentions a woman named Livia Moretti, who is the owner of a company called Verdant Holdings. She, according to Marcus, her company is in the business of sustainable, affordable housing. She developed a machine that the Goldwaters actually pay her to take some of their waste, and this machine will convert that waste into building materials. And it seems that every time that they are ready to kind of launch, something somehow breaks into the place where they store this machine and kind of sabotages it, destroys it, gets rid of the materials, and they have to start back from scratch all over again. Complaint goes on to say that these attacks tend to happen overnight, and that the town guard who has patrolled the area has not been alerted to anything ever happening at this building. So, not sure where it's coming from, not sure why it's happening, but Marcus did mention that Livia had said that at one point she did find a red coin left behind after one of the attacks.
I don't think that was the TLDR. I think that was literally the whole explanation.
Yeah, that was kind of.
That was a good conversation. I enjoyed it.
So, Narco intends to make a trip out to see Miss Livia and see what can be done about linking this with their current objective as far as getting into the Thieves Guild in order to rescue our missing jewelry.
So I think over the course of the breakfast, Syrian will actually approach Professor, and he will say, I'm sorry, I couldn't wait on the boat any longer. I didn't know where you guys were going or what you guys were doing. I'm supposed to be following you and learning stuff, and I thought, man, I'm already kind of blowing it.
It's all right, Syrian. Did you get what you needed from my paper research?
There were definitely some interesting things in there, yeah. Learning about the history and kind of what you've been able to discover about this strange source of magic so far. And I came into Palazzo looking for you, but then Alistair said that he needed help putting together the wedding, and I thought, hey, that's a great way to maybe take a break and pass some time. And man, I worked for him longer than I really intended to, and then he had me wait outside Narco's room all night because he had a message for her.
He just kind of stares at him and blinks once. He's like, "You were looking for me, but you couldn't find me the first place you looked, so you got a job working there instead."
Well, that's kind of what Sentinels do, right? We go wherever we're needed. We help out whoever needs helped.
He nods. Right. Did you learn something good here?
I learned how to properly set a dinner placement.
Good. Perfect. That's exactly what they were looking for back at your headquarters. Well, I'm glad you got something out of it. What is your plan now?
Oh, and this too. He takes out like a cloth napkin and he folds it into a swan.
The professor's eye just twitches once. Like, really? Serious. Do you plan to continue making swans until it's time to leave?
Well, I hope not.
All right. Well, plots are afoot, wheels are turning. Would you like to be a part of that? Would you like to get in on the action?
I'll follow wherever you tell me to go, sir.
He's just gonna reach over and just like with his pointer and his thumb, he just gingerly clasp the swan and yank it out of his hands. He's like, no more of this.
Oh. But we've only got about half the ballroom done.
You know there are people who actually work here who are paid to do these things. At least I hope they're getting paid. That's a whole different thing if they're not.
No, I'm pretty sure they're getting paid.
Ah, perfect. Were you getting paid?
No. Volunteer.
Nah. All right. Stay by my side. Don't wander off, and try to keep up. And don't touch anything.
All right. He puts his hands in his pockets.
Ren's gonna glance over, smirk, and go, I like him.
Second thought. Stay by Ren's side. He needs your help. He gets into a lot of trouble and needs someone like you to protect him at all times. Don't let him out of your sight.
You are just bitter. Please get me some more apples, sir.
You got it.
You don't have to do that! He has 4 feet, you have 2. He can get it himself.
But you told me,
No. You did this.
You told me
He is
to.
being helpful, as a sentinel does.
Sentinels aren't here to be helpful. They're here to bring hope. No hope that he would do better than be a servant boy for apple-eating rich people. You just want free labor.
Apples
You
are
are
the
not-
purest form of hope.
You're here on a research outing.
You left him unattended.
To be fair, Red's the only one who asked me to bring him apples.
Don't do it.
Kind of like looks between Ren and
You
the
can do
professor.
whatever you want. I don't-
Eyes
I'm
between
not
Ren
and the
isn't-
professor.
Ren isn't going to try to intimidate him, but Ren is just going to give him that long, soul-searching look because apples.
To the orchard then, and he'll exit.
Why do you do that?
What did I do?
You did that thing with your face. The thing that your face doesn't do anything, but everyone can see it. And I know what you did.
This is
You
my
can't-
face.
I'm into getting you apples forever.
No, he will die eventually. We all do.
And stuck with him after.
Perhaps he can get me apples as spirit. Do you think spirit apples would be delicious?
They're not. Trust me.
That is unfortunate.
I think it'd be about this time that both Alistair and Marcus enter the little dining area. And Marcus kind of looks around and smiles, and he says, "Oh, wonderful! It's good to see you all back here again this morning. Hello."
Good morning.
Morning, Marcus.
Did you all rest well?
Yuki will look straight at him and go, no.
No. Kind of looks
Oh shit, Ren's the polite one.
back at you, Yuki, and says, "Were the accommodations not to your liking?"
The accommodations were perfect. There were extenuating circumstances. It is not your fault, but you did ask the question.
Marcus, would it be okay if Reverie and I stay here too?
Of course, absolutely. You were invited. I mean, you had the freedom to choose to not stay, but if you wish to stay, you're still welcome to.
Oh, thank you.
Of
Thank you.
course. Is everything all right?
Yes.
Ren looks at them confused.
Yuki will
wait.
hold her tongue.
We had a little trouble last night at the place we stayed.
The service was terrible.
Was it the
So
Silverback
confused.
house?
Yes.
Well, I shall be having a word with them today. Don't you worry.
If it wasn't the service, that's not a nice thing to say. That they were fine. We just had visitors that we did not want to have, and we had to leave.
Protesters?
Protesters?
Yes, there's
No,
been protesters in the city.
no, no. Oh, there is no. We just. Rubbery was attacked last night, so we left.
Oh my gosh.
So we thought maybe we'd just stay here instead.
What is Ren inciting?
Ren was trying to figure out why Jade was lying, because Jade doesn't normally lie, and Ren doesn't usually lie either. So Ren was trying to figure out why Jade was lying, and now Jade has told the truth, so Ren is nodding satisfactory, because now we are back on the right track.
Jade wasn't lying.
Jade managed a whole like 2 to 3 sentences of being evasive
I know.
before she couldn't handle it anymore.
That was very impressive.
She wasn't lying. She was trying not to say too much in front of too many other people, but he kept pushing. So,
So
she didn't want anyone else to get in trouble because someone was saying service was bad. So nothing I said was a lie.
Did you catch who your assailants were?
A couple of
No, we fled. Oh, did we catch them? No. Did we see them?
No.
Yes.
I guess. Sorry. Yeah. Meaning, did you see who they were?
Yes, a giant frog with a very long tongue that had fingers on it. It might have been
Does
an
not sound
arm.
like a tongue. That sounds more like an arm.
It was a creature that was summoned to get people.
That sounds terrible. I've never heard of such a thing before.
Well, we
Erica wrote about them in her magazines.
I give Nariko a "Can we trust this guy?" look.
That's a very specific look. Naruko's look back conveys we're kind of stuck with him regardless. So
That's a great look.
Just
like,
shrug.
This is the look of a woman who has like 16 things that she needs to fix right now, and like whatever, man.
Longer, damn it.
We're fucked either way.
Whatever, man. Amazing.
Look, at this
Whatever,
point,
man.
if Marcus is like a Manchurian agent, he's in deep enough that the pin on that grenade's just gonna get pulled eventually anyhow.
That's
So,
fair. Probably at the regatta. That's what it's there for, right?
like he could be sneaking into Naruko's room and staring at her creepily all night if he's got a high enough stealth score. We don't fucking know.
Come on, Arby, do your job.
Right?
Well, I can assure you that nothing like that has happened here at Palazzo Goldwater. I'm confident you would be very safe here. And honestly, I would prefer you stay here if it's all the same to you. I won't make you. I'll be clear about that.
May I ask why you prefer that we stay here? I mean, there are quite a few of us, and it would put a burden on your staff.
We have an entire wing of guest rooms. We have the staff to accommodate you, I promise you, but it's just I know that this place is safe, and I know that you will be safe here. And cared for.
Can I insight check this dude?
Sure.
Is he being serious? Oh, that's a fucking 8.
Those dice do not like you tonight.
Jesus.
Come on. Work with me.
Work with me. Yeah, okay, sure.
on your insight, I think you get he does seem to be very sincere in his words. I don't think you detect any kind of like deception or ulterior motive or anything like that.
Okay, I'll play along for now.
Thank you, Marcus. That's really nice of you.
You're quite welcome. Now, do you mind if I join you?
At your table?
It is your home. Seems rude not to.
Well, of course I don't want to intrude.
Would you intrude in your own home?
It's not
I'm
that...
sure Noriko would like to spend more time with you.
Oh, speaking of which, Alistair mentioned that he wanted to speak with you, Nariko?
He did? Yes. I don't. He mentioned that specifically to you as well? Why?
Alistair, who entered the room with Marcus, he nods and he says, I was hoping to get out the word to as many people as possible that I wanted to speak with you privately, in case you came back and I was otherwise occupied.
Sensible. Well, how about this, Marcus? Why don't you sit here and chat with my compatriots while I take a moment to speak with Mr. Alistair, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, lovely. He will go and take a seat.
Cool. All right, guys. This is one of the secret tests Narco is putting Marcus through. Have fun.
Ren will stare at him intently.
Hi, Marcus. Did you have a good night last night?
Hello. I rested rather well. Although I feel silly saying so, then that some of you did not.
It happens, you know. It's kind of dangerous when you're us, I suppose.
He kind of grins and leans into you a bit, and he says, "It talks like."
She leans slightly away towards Reverie.
See, he grins a bit, and he talks like he knows what the fuck he's talking about, and he
He
says,
thinks he's part of the team.
the life of an adventurer, right?
I suppose I wasn't really an adventurer till about a month ago.
I wasn't an adventurer until last night, so I guess we're all new to this, huh?
Oh, yes, that's true. You're quite new. You're doing really well, though.
Thank you.
Are you going to be coming with us for the rest of our time here?
Red, what are you rolling for?
I tried to give him a judgmental glare, but apparently I got distracted by apples.
A plate of apples just plops right in front of you as you're like eyeing this guy.
Oh, forget it. Apples, much more important.
So meanwhile, Alistair will kind of escort Narco out of the room, kind of take her a little bit outside, close the door so that their conversation is a bit private from the rest of the group. And he turns to face you, Narco, straight on, and he says, "Are you aware that your companion, the professor, is in league with the Red Hoods?"
Excuse me while I roll to see how well Nariko maintains her composure to not laugh like I just did.
Like we all just fucking did.
Okay, nat 20. Let's go.
Oh, good job. You professional.
Oh man.
Nariko
He's just an idiot.
stares at Alistair, seemingly very concerned. She says, "Oh dear, that's quite the bit of information to drop right on me. How did you come by such a claim?"
One of Master Oliver's employees from the Goldwater Trading Company was at the Sailor's Haven last night and met the professor. And after a brief talk that they had, I understand that the professor flashed him one of the Red Hood's crimson coins.
Ah, I see. I'm rather impressed that your work staff is so so devoted to keeping you all appraised of such things.
Well, he spoke with the bartender Rocco the Anchor at Sailor's Haven, and many of our personnel from the docks usually go there for relaxation, so the Anchor has a good relationship with Master Oliver. He was speaking to Master Oliver because he happened to see the professor amongst your companions, and when he was notified by our employee that the professor flashed the crimson coin, he took it upon himself to let Oliver know. In turn, Oliver let me know. I have done my best in the meantime to make sure that the word does not go any further than that, because I wanted to get your understanding of it first.
I see. Narco sort of looks Alistair up and down appraisingly and says, "You're something of a major domo for the Goldwaters here, aren't you?"
It is part of my duty to make sure that this house is kept in top shape, and sometimes those duties extend beyond the house.
Narco gives a smile and she says, "Ah, yes. Uh, keeping things tidy can have so many meanings, that can't it?"
It can, yes.
See? Well, Sir Alistair, I wish to offer you my personal gratitude that you were able to keep this matter discreet and saw fit to extend your protection of the Goldwaters affairs to me personally as well. That's very kind of you.
God.
As to the professor's relationship with the Red Hoods, you can pass along to Oliver my assurances that he most definitely does not have any actual connection to the Red Hoods. The coin that he flashed was a parlor trick. Uh, not to concern you overly with what may be going on with myself and Sir Marcus when we're out of sight, but we have some reason to believe that the Red Hoods are likely to be sticking their noses into my business with the Mystic Mechanicus, adventuring nonsense. I'm sure you can understand to some degree. The professor, perhaps ill-advisedly, was attempting to feign connection with the group in hopes that it would open doors when he was asking questions about them, and it may have worked a little bit beyond his expectations in that regard. He is wont to do that sometimes. Showmanship sometimes outplays his foresight.
I see. Well, based on your account, as well as the fact that the Anchor did not actually get a good look, or our employee did not get a good look at the coin that was in Professor's hand, it is possible that it was not a genuine crimson coin. So, as such, we will consider this matter suspended for the moment.
While we are speaking in confidence, Sir Alistair, might I ask you a question that is very much prying, so I understand if you do not wish to or cannot give me an answer.
Very well.
I am aware of the Red Hoods operating in the city, and I am also aware that oftentimes when there is a criminal element such as them, that oftentimes they work with those in power just as much as they work against them. I would like to know since I am soon to be entangled in the Goldwaters ventures at various levels, if the Goldwaters do have any dealings with the Redwoods, just so I know whether or not any incidents that might run afoul of them are in my interests.
I can assure you, Miss Hungertsner, that the Goldwaters do not have any such agreement, partnership, arrangement, or any such thing with the Red Hoods.
So, I will take your word at that.
Again, he gives you a nod.
Perfect. Sir Alistair, I appreciate you bringing this matter to my attention discreetly, and your understanding and trust in my testimony. Is there anything else that you wish to discuss while you have my ear?
That is all, Miss von Gertzner. I appreciate you hearing me out.
Naturally. It's a poor employer who hires someone to do a job and then does not deign to listen when they try to do that job on their behalf. Oh, also, I noticed you've been putting young Syrian to work. I have no objections to this. I don't know what I would do with him in his off hours anyway, but any particular end goal or purpose to this, or just a distaste for having idle hands about?
He looked antsy. Felt like he needed something to do.
He does seem like a man who is at his best when he has firm direction given to him. Maybe he'll grow out of it eventually. We'll see. Alrighty, just making sure. Thank you very much, sir. I will now return to breakfast.
He will again give you a nod, and he will escort you again to the door and open it up for you and let you back in.
Cool.
And then he will kind of go off and do butler things.
He's buttling.
Battle, sir.
He's got to go buttle.
Or butler, sir. I buttle.
I love it. I love it, all of us. Be too funny.
Marcus.
So how many?
Marcus
How
stands
many friendship points has Marcus scored? Being left to converse with all of Narco's friends without Narco there.
I don't know. Do you guys want to have any conversations with Marcus while Narco's outside of the room?
He's not winning any points with me unless he gives me apples.
So, Marcus, do you like Noriko?
Of course I like Narco, yes. She's...
Oh, well, I mean, everyone likes Nariko, but do you like her? Like her? like her? Do you want to like hold her hand, and do you like her?
We are about to be married, so I believe that would be proper.
Okay, well, I didn't ask you what was proper. I asked if you liked her.
Oh, the thanks.
Yes, I do. And he kind of leans in again and says,
Did she lean away again?
Yes. Depending on how close he gets.
like her.
Right. And, I mean, you guys are supposed to get married, but, you know, it's Nariko's choice still, right?
Of course, the choice was never taken from her.
Okay. And do you think you're going to come and still help us with adventures?
It was a lot of excitement yesterday, wasn't it? I would like
a lot.
I think I would like to see some of this through, I think.
She'll just nod. Good, that's good.
Of course, you don't mind Brutus tagging along as well. They insist that Brutus goes along wherever I go.
Well, we just got attacked by a giant frog monster, so maybe it's good that Brutus comes with us.
Yes, I would agree.
Is that what your parents are scared of? It's happening to you? That you might get kidnapped or something? You're by yourself?
Oh, I thought you meant frog monsters.
Well, I mean, I guess that's one way to get a person. I've never seen it until last night.
Well, kidnappings are never off the table, although I am a little older and bigger in that, so that is not as much of a worry anymore as much as I was when I was younger. But there are sometimes protesters that pop up around the city that are not too happy with the way things are, and I don't know what riles them up, but they slander our name, and my family fears that they may resort to violence.
Oh, have they ever?
I've been fortunate enough to be able to steer around any of their demonstrations.
Have you ever talked to them?
I think they would sooner rip me apart than speak with me.
Well, they're protesting, right? That means they have something to say.
Well, the guards say that they are unhappy with wage conditions. They think that we hold too much of the wealth, too much of the power, and they think that the recourse for that is to try to steal it back or forcibly take it from us.
Well, but have you actually talked to them, or have you just heard what other people say that they're saying?
Kind of straightens his shirt out a little bit, and he says, I will admit that I have not spoken to them directly.
Well, Narco, she's wonderful, and she does a lot. And she does a lot by herself, sometimes. And she's very good with her words. She really cares about the people that work for her, I've seen her when she talks to the people that take care of her things. Maybe if you go with her to talk to them, maybe she could help. And she does lean in ever so slightly. Narco does tend to like it when people take the initiative to fix a problem. She likes to fix things.
He kind of blinks at that, and he nods and he says, I see, and you can tell, even all of you with your passive insight, you can tell he definitely just took a mental note from that.
So, if you like her, like her.
Yes?
No, that was it. Just if you like her, then maybe just not always adventure and frog monsters.
Noted.
Sounds like a great time for Naruto to re-enter the scene.
I agree.
Wait, yeah, better do it now before Jade asks if he liked what she looked like in her outfit yesterday.
Well, now I definitely want to hear the conversation.
Yeah.
Sometimes the fact that Jade does not have a great filter is very, very useful.
It is.
So yeah, Naruto will rejoin after her discussion with Alistair, smirking slightly for reasons that none of you can guess. Because she
Jade
still
will lean
finds it
away
fucking
from
funny.
Marcus when who comes in.
Thank you for waiting on me. Were you feeling a bit better this morning, all around?
I think Rotary still needs to lay down. Unless you are awake now.
Either works. If we have stuff to do, then I can be awake.
Well, there's always stuff to do, I'm sure. At least when we're in town. I've already explained to you all what Mark has shared with me about the business interest. Once we're finished with breakfast here, I'm looking to go with him so he can introduce me to chat with this woman and see what we can find.
Oh, that's
First,
a good plan.
Reverie and Jade, you have had your evening disrupted. By all means, if you would prefer to sit out of that first little investigative portion so you can get a proper rest, that's fine with me.
I'm okay. Actually, maybe we should rest for a bit. Reverie, would that be okay with you?
Did you need to rest?
For a little while.
If you would like to rest, I would be more than happy to sit outside the door and make sure that nothing disturbs you.
You can sit inside the door.
I think we'll be fine. We should stay with Nariko.
What did you swallow that makes you make that noise?
Naruto seeing this will say, actually, given the recent intrusion, and with Yuki being almost certainly our one member who is not at all hindered by the defensive mechanisms around the palazzo, I would feel more comfortable if we had her here watch to keep you company. I will still be traveling with Ren, Professor, Marcus, and Brutus, so I will not lack for support. Oh, I guess Sentinel Syrian is also coming.
Well, we could have
Please,
Syrian
let's keep
stay with
forgetting
us.
about him. Yes, you can.
Jade says, well, we could have Syrian stay here with us. He's Sentinel.
Syrian comes back into the room. He's like sweating. He's got a bushel of apples. He just plops it on the table. Got your apples.
Excellent. Much appreciated. You are very commendable at this.
Yuki will look at Syrian, and she will look at Jade. Just say, is there any reason that you do not wish me to stay to make sure that you are all right? It is not that I think that you are incapable of taking care of yourself, as you've clearly done so last night, this morning. I only wish to make sure that here, where some of your abilities are impaired, that you'll be able to rest and be safe.
We'll be okay.
You did not answer my question.
What was the question?
Is there any reason that you do not wish me to stay here?
I just think you'd be better with Nariko in case something happens. The creature can't track Reverie through the walls here. But if something's after Reverie, they might be after Nariko too.
Mhm.
And you'll be outside.
Actually, Yuki, you had a pretty tough night as well. I did give you a run for your money during our little sparring session. Are you sure you don't want to take a little extra rest just to let the bruises heal a bit?
Yuki will kind of stretch her neck a little bit. Definitely not needing to, but she will definitely kind of take the lead from Nariko and say, if you believe you are well protected enough with Brutus and Professor and Arby and Marcus, I would not mind a rest as well.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. And then it looks like I'll have a day out on the town with all the boys. It'll be a different change of pace. We're just going to the business front to ask some questions. Couldn't be anything too out of the ordinary. I'll definitely be coming back to fetch all of you should I think we're about to get a little bit more adventurous than that.
Ren, what are you inciting?
Okay, so Ren was trying to figure out what was going on between Yuki and Jade because he's like, there's subtext there. And he's usually not good at subtext. But on the nat 20, his little skull jaw is hanging open because he gets it. And in his head, he's like, oh, Yuki is still uncertain about their argument for last night and is worried that Jade is having personal animosity towards her. Whereas Jade, I am uncertain if she is aware of this. Oh, but now Naruko is attempting to smooth things over. It's like all the little lights are connecting for him.
Ren's like full on beautiful mind right now.
Yeah. It's
No.
your turn. It's your
Why
turn.
does no one at this party know how to read a fucking room?
What's your reading?
I'm 2 months old.
Smart Ren.
I will say, Ren with a nat 20 on a 26 insight.
Uh-huh.
There is a second where after all this, Yuki is talking to Naruko, and she thinks no one is really looking at her, that she looks for just a second frustrated before she looks down at her plate and goes back to picking at her food.
Okay, Ren still doesn't know what that part means, but he's so happy he made all these other connections.
So proud of you.
You're right now, like the apple fell out of his hand. He's like, oh. That's what I'm doing. I'm not actually gonna say anything because why would I do that? Ren is just trying to figure shit out in his head.
Yeah, I love it.
Naruko is just hoping, like, okay, get Yuki and Jade to, like, talk out their feelings so that I don't have to. Got other shit to do.
Bold of you to assume we're actually going to talk.
That is literally the only reason Naruko is trying to help Yuki with getting to stay here, because she's hoping that is part of why Yuki wants to stay.
Uh-huh.
If you're gonna just disappoint me, I mean, that'd be nothing new, but okay, sure.
Dun dun dun.
Ouch.
Damn. Man.
Naruko is, like, rapidly approaching the red line on her pressure gauge right now.
Mm-hmm.
But she is holding it all together. So we'll see how today goes.
I love it.
So,
Um,
so Marcus kind of looks around. He says, "So, you want to visit Livia then today?"
yes, please.
She has her warehouse. Warehouse sounds like not the right word to use, but where her
Workshop?
business is again on the other side of Toronto.
Motherfucker!
Amazing. There's water taxis.
But Marcus does say, but we could take one of our private boats to head up the canal and go in that direction. Cut down on the travel time quite a bit.
Please and thank you. All right, now we get to see if Marcus is going to try and finagle a romantic one-on-one gondola ride with Naruko.
Yes, we too shall be in this gondola, and all of the others crammed into this second gondola, just pacing us in the background.
Just makes up a whole bunch of bullshit about, like, passenger regulations. Well, you know, if he brings along Brutus and Arby as the required chaperones on his boat, then it's more of like a 4-4 split. So
for something.
All right, so having not learned our lesson, we split the party again.
Yeah. But it's daytime this time, so it's fine.
I'm looking for something I put on this map on the GM layer, and I can't freaking find it.
Insight check.
Usually I keep a fireball token on the jam layer on like every map, and then I get annoyed because it's like overlapping every other thing I've got because it's fucking huge.
Accidentally reveal it just for effect. Oops.
Like, haha! There it is, I found it. Haha. Just, when in doubt, just start highlighting random blocks of the map and you'll find it. Got it.
That's
Okay.
usually how I play things.
Yeah. With breakfast completed, so make sure I understand correctly. Jade and Reverie and Yuki, you guys are going to be hanging behind at Palazzo Goldwater?
Yep.
What are you guys looking to do as the rest of the group splits off?
Come on, Reverie, do you want to go find a room?
Sure.
The house staff will tell you, there are rooms that are already made. They'll escort you to the guest wing, to a
Cool.
to a bedroom that is prepared for you.
Great.
But they will ask you, do you prefer to stay together, or do you want a room to yourselves?
Reverie and I together, please.
Actually, can we have a room for each of us? If that's not too much trouble?
Do you want to be alone, Reverie? It's okay if you do.
I'll tell you what. We'll set a room for each of you, and if you decide to use that room, it's there for you. If you want to stay together, I mean, there's no one's going to stop you.
Okay.
Reverie's going to give Jade's hand a reassuring squeeze, and then just say, yes, please show us to the rooms.
Very well. They turn to you, Yuki, and say, Miss Yuki, would you like your room made for the day, or will you be elsewhere on the grounds?
I will be elsewhere on the grounds. You can make up my room for the day. I will not be resting or sleeping.
Very well. So Yuki, they kind of leave you to your devices, and they will go and escort Reverie and Jade to the guest wing, where they will show you each a room that has been prepared for you, while they go and make the rest of the rooms after everyone has left for the day.
Yuki's gonna follow. Like she's not going back to her room, but she's like to sleep. But she's not gonna leave Jade and Reverie, but like to their own devices. She's gonna follow them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. I mean, the house staff has no problem if you follow along, of course.
Yuki is on guard dog duty, whether Jade wants her to be or not.
Cool.
All right.
Jade shuts the door in her face.
That's fine.
Did I miss something? So I don't separate from Jade, by the way.
Yeah, I stay with Reverie.
Yeah. But when she shuts the door in Yuki's face, she just looks at Jade and says, did I miss something?
I just don't want to have a fight.
I don't think closing the door in someone's face is a good way to accomplish that.
Maybe, but I also don't want her in here.
Okay.
It's going to make it a lot harder to sneak out now.
Yuki will be crisscross applesauce in the hallway right across from your door.
Jade's going to look out the window that we've got up here, and then look back at Reverie. How long will it take for you to be able to do that magic that you did again?
I can probably do it again tomorrow.
I'll interpose a little bit, and I will say that you were kind of like halfway through a long rest when the attack happened, and you haven't really done much for the rest of the day. So I'll say if you get like another like 2-hour nap in, I think we'll consider that a long rest.
Let me sleep for a little bit, and I may be able to do it again today.
Okay.
I can actually recover a level 4 on a short rest also, so possibly up to twice a day, depending on circumstances.
Okay.
I didn't necessarily want a separate room from you. I just wanted to have more options and places for people to look if they come looking.
Oh, I understand. It's okay. I didn't want you to think that you always had a room with me if you did want your space. It's alright if you do.
I like rooming with you.
I like rooming with you too.
What? Why are we sneaking out?
Because I'm probably going to do something really stupid and people are going to be mad at me, but I don't really know how else to do it when other people are watching me all the time.
What are we doing?
Remember how we learned about the people who were taking the drugs and putting it in their eyes?
Right?
Okay, well, I asked David if there was anything I could do to help them, and he said that I could only really help them for a little bit. I have magic that can get rid of the poison, but it doesn't get rid of them wanting the poison, so they're going to do it again. And he said the only way that they could get some help is with time. If I have to spend time and help them, but I don't know how long we're going to be here, or if anything's going to happen to us. And my magic is not enough to do what I need to do to help them. But I have other magic that I can use to help them. And I think I can if we can find some people who need it. I think I can. So I was going to try and find someone in the marketplace today. There was a woman. She lost her shop and she's in a bad way, and I thought maybe if I could find her and I could try to heal her. But I didn't want anyone else to know in case it either didn't work or I just kind of wanted you to be there. Narco's got enough going on and everyone else is so pushy about it. And I don't want anyone else to fight. So
Okay. I can help with that.
Ken?
Yeah, I'll help you with that.
Okay. I don't want to make you keep a secret if you don't want to keep a secret. It's just I want to see if this works. And now Yuki's outside the door and I don't know how to get around her.
Why don't we just invite her?
Because I don't think it's the best place for her to be.
Why not?
Because I don't know what we're going to find while we're there.
And what if we get into trouble?
Well,
Or-
if we get
or somebody comes after us again.
Let's probably be together.
Okay, I'm not saying that we have to take Yuki along. If you don't want to, that's fine. But just think about it for a little bit, okay?
I'll think about it.
Okay. I'm gonna try and get some rest.
Okay. Get some sleep. I'll be here.
Me half wondering if that was Reverie or Ben saying that.
A little bit of both.
Yes.
Yes.
I was gonna ask the same thing. I just couldn't unmute myself fast enough.
Just to catch Ben up, just in case, because and I thought I had mentioned this, and I might not have. So, the last session during the like infiltration of the club, Professor and Yuki had split off by themselves to like sneak in through the back door while the rest of us went through the front door, and got into the room with the guy who sold the drugs, and just went full on intimidation tactic immediately after Yuki took off her top and became team front door in more ways than one.
Back door.
And
Team back door.
Yeah.
Team
I
furries
know.
in the back door.
Team furries the back door, and then you became team front door when you took your shirt off. That's all I'm
Fair.
saying. So Professor transformed her into a Triceratops, and she stepped on a guy's foot and crushed it, and caused a bunch of drama because Jade saw it happen and freaked out, and was very much like upset about the intimidation tactics, and that's when we all split up. So context-wise, Jade right now doesn't want seems to not want Yuki to be here because she doesn't want to get into another fight, and she doesn't want someone else to get intimidated in that way.
Okay.
And for Yuki's side, like, she was a Triceratops. She's never been a Triceratops. She has no idea how much pressure to put on somebody's foot being a Triceratops. So she was trying to explain to Jade that she did not mean to hurt this person and blah blah blah, but Jade was very upset and not listening, so there's rift right now.
Geez, first you drink people's beers and then you step on their feet.
Yep.
And then Naruko went to join Yuki because Yuki was the only person nearby Naruko who she could try to smooth things over, and basically just like let Yuki beat her up in a sparring match all night to kind of like let the aggression get out.
But Yuki did not like fight. She used like basically like throws and like grapples and stuff. Like she didn't like punch Naruko in the face. Like it wasn't that kind of sparring. It was very like almost drunken sort of master fighting, like putting her off balance, redirecting, that sort of stuff. It wasn't like she laid the smack down.
But yeah, Naruko claiming that like, oh yeah, Yuki must be like really tired after her sparring match like last night. Is absolutely talking out of her ass.
Yeah, and Yuki picked up on that. I was like, yeah, I'm so fucking sore.
Okay, thank you. I either forgot that or missed it, so yeah. I'm sorry.
Also, almost exactly the same sort of dramas between Jade and the professor as well. So
yeah, which is why Jade wasn't talking to the professor either.
Yeah, so this is also why Naruko's in a bad mood, because half her closest and dearest friends are all fighting with each other. It's gonna get better. Better. Morale will improve. So help me God.
Oh, that is a threat. I am familiar with those.
Yeah, it's gonna get better. Yeah. Sure.
Like Naruko has a whole thing she needs to do with Jade. The problem is like she's waiting for a good time, and at the rate things are going, that time is going to be where she finds the fucking marketplace on fire because something happened again when Jade sneaks out, and it's not going to be good. But that's for later. We're not there yet.
Yes, so at the present moment, Marcus will kind of lead you all to the little dock that they have here, Palazzo Goldwater. What you'll see is a very nice, like, catamaran that he will load everybody onto. It's very luxurious, nice plush seating. There are drinks served by a captain in a legit little captain's uniform. Loads everybody in and sends you up the canal towards Verdant Holdings. Powell. So, fast travel across Tremonto once again. And as you kind of pull up alongside, it's like this is like one of those buildings that has its own kind of like has its own kind of like receiving door, like right on the canal, so that a boat can kind of float up and they can kind of load load or take away cargo right onto the canal there. So Marcus leads your ship right to their dock, and he kind of steps off first, and he offers a hand to everybody as you guys, as he kind of like leads you off the ship back onto the shore, and he says, perhaps let me go first. Livia, I know Livia personally, and yeah, if you don't mind, I'll open with her.
By all means.
So, as he leads you off the boat onto the dock, enters this building, and what you see inside, there are kind of crates in a large open warehouse that are kind of all stacked around the walls. The windows you'll see are kind of like, lack of a better word, they're like boarded up so that you can't like see through them or try to get through them. It looks like some measures have been taken here to try to put some kind of security in place to prevent people from breaking in. But you see these crates that are kind of lined around. Clearly some kind of like they're like kind of like refuse. All these crates are stamped with the Goldwater logo on them. In the center of this large warehouse type room, you see a large machine. There are lots of like tubes like feeding into each other. There are gears and mechanisms that are meant for like grinding, smashing, compacting. You see that there's like a feeder hopper and kind of a conveyor belt going out the other side. And you can kind of see that it looks like there may have been some kind of test done on this machine, as there is a couple of like, well, there are a couple of like cinder block sized bricks that are sitting on the conveyor belt, but they're not made of like cement or wood or stone or metal or anything like that. They look like they're made of like compressed like wood and almost like plastics, like that sort of thing. Again, for lack of a better term of what the material actually is, kind of gives you an idea of what you're looking at. As he kind of leads you inside, he says, "This is Verdant Holdings. This is apparently the machine where they are making their materials. And it looks like Livia is almost about ready to try to open up again." As Marcus is showing you around, a door to an office opens up. You see a head peek out of a woman. She has kind of like long, flowing, curling, dark hair. Wears a very like business smart kind of attire. She looks a little bit like this.
Everyone in Tremonto is hot.
Everyone in Toronto's hot.
Right?
Yes,
you
very.
think?
Hi.
The city of hotness.
Um,
Quick! Does Marcus look? Is it a lingering look?
Is he looking respectfully?
Is he respectfully looking? Does he hover hand?
you see, Marcus does smile a bit as she peeks her head out. She kind of comes. She looks around. She is kind of like, apprehensive at first. She seems a little bit on edge, but as she sees Marcus, you see her expression soften, and she steps fully out of the office. And she's, "Oh, Marcus, I wasn't expecting you today." And she kind of goes up to him, and they do like the kind of greeting where it's like the kiss on both cheeks. Um, she says, "It's good to see you, Marcus. Who are you with?" And he says, "Oh, well, you've heard I'm to be married. This is my fiance, Nariko von Grutzner, and her companions that you see here are you have Professor and Ren."
Hello.
You see, she kind of goes wide-eyed for a minute, looks at Marcus, and Marcus just kind of gives her a nod, and she says, "Oh, well, it is lovely to meet you all." And the professor. Did I say professor? Okay, good.
Fish did.
You did forget Syrian, but that's okay. It's kind of the joke at this point.
Oh, Siri came too.
Fucking Syrian.
Be control of Syrian. Drag him around.
All right.
No. Send a little
I,
mousetrap.
I feel like in narrative integration, everyone should have control of Syrian.
I mean, I'll do that. There you go. You guys should all be able to control Syrian now.
There you go.
You probably see his hit points now too.
Oh yeah, he chunky.
Yeah, he chunky.
Fighter gonna
I'm
fight.
now suddenly very scared to get into a fight with the actual Sentinels. They got beef.
Hey, why does he have more HP than Dave?
Because he has a sword.
Because he's got to deal with your goblins all day.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay, that just begs the question, like, what sort of a surprise round did these goblins get off?
Oh.
A really, really good one.
You know, it's the narrative plot type.
These hit points came with training.
So, Livia greets you. She smiles. She takes a half step, kind of in the opposite direction of Ren, but still is smiling and pleasant and good, happy to see you all the same. She says, "What brings you to my office?" Marcus looks at Livia and says, "Well, Nariko and her companions were talking, well, I had told them about the incident that you had here at Verdant Holdings lately, the last time that your warehouse was broken into and the machine was dismantled. I happened to mention something about one of the crimson coins being left behind, and they took great interest in that." And Livia looks at y'all and says, "Why would you be interested in a crimson coin?"
Narco kind of smiles and says, well, point aside, I would already have been interested in the work you were doing here, especially a machine such as this. The Von Grutzner company does a lot of work with constructs and mechanization, so I would be certain to want to see regardless. But regarding the coin itself, we are worried that some concerns of ours have run afoul of the organization that produces those coins, and we were hoping to get a hold of one ourselves for use later on when it comes time for us to go searching for them.
Right, well, yeah, it's one of the Crimson Coins of the Red Hoods. I'm pretty sure they're the ones who've been breaking in and destroying my stuff, although I don't really know why. I have nothing to offer them, and I'm no threat to them, so I don't understand, but still, that would certainly be one of their, well, I would say it's one of their calling cards, but it's strange that they would even leave a coin behind. Their operatives are pretty protective of those things. It's extremely, extremely rare to see one out in the wild.
Do you suspect that the coin might have been placed there intentionally?
I don't know. Anything is possible, I suppose.
It it just seems to me that the only people who would stand to gain from your operation being disrupted in this manner is someone who either holds some animosity towards the Goldwaters and are attacking your venture as a means to get to them, or someone who sees your particular innovation as a threat to their own business interests.
I mean, I don't know why anyone with an issue with the Goldwaters would come after me. They're paying me to take their trash, basically. I don't see how anyone would benefit attacking me to get at the Goldwaters. As for anyone else who would want to see us fail, I honestly couldn't imagine. No one has really struck me as wanting something like that.
I'm still new in town, but I'm trying to get the lay of the land. I believe there's a family. It's Bella, like the Belarus's or something. Neville
Belafontes.
still is not taking notes, but Belafonte.
It's the Belafontes, yeah.
Yeah. They seem to be the ones most invested in property as an asset.
Well, yeah, they own some of the buildings here in Tremonto. They do a lot of leasing as well, but where they're into the more traditional construction and leasing, we're more into the eco-friendly construction and property management.
So you provide your so not competition in the same market, but offering an alternative.
Yes.
Still competition, mind you.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't. And we lease this space is actually leased from the Belafontes.
Have they invested in your venture in the same way the Goldwaters have?
Not exactly. We lease the space from them, so the Goldwaters pay us to take the refuse for us to what I like to call recycle, and we lease the space from the Belafontes, so we actually pay the Belafontes for the use of this building.
Doesn't necessarily mean they want you to succeed.
But if we fail, we couldn't pay them anymore. Not that there's any shortage of people wanting property in Tremonto, but still.
When these attacks happen, it's been said that the guard has been able to turn up nothing. Does it strike you that this is because the ones responsible are so good at sneaking in, covering their tracks, leaving no trace, or is there plenty of evidence lying around? They just don't seem to be suddenly very competent at making use of it.
Well, I'm no investigator. I don't really know what to look for, but the guards that come by, they make their rounds at night. They claim to never see anyone come in or out. They never hear any noises, yet it always seems just when we're about to start our operations that someone comes in and destroys what we have, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get a visit soon. As you can see, our test trials on the machine have been completed, and we're about ready to try to get the gears running again.
A mystery like this seems deserving of the interest of the Mystic Mechanicus. Miss Livia, if you would be able to provide us that red coin that you have acquired, in return, I would be happy to offer my expertise in hastening the finishing of this machine and to provide some security for tonight to ensure that whoever is responsible is apprehended.
That would be great, but I don't particularly have the budget to pay you for this service.
That's why I said you have a single red coin that could provide a lot of value to me and might be something of a liability to keep on your person for terribly long.
I mean, if that's all you're asking, I'll go get it right now.
Do keep in mind, I'm soon to become very much invested into the Goldwaters enterprise as a whole, so...
Well, yes, being married to Marcus, I'm sure you will be.
Well, Marcus said that he knew you personally. Did you grow up together?
Oh, we know each other from... We went to school together. Not really grew up, but, we knew each other as we were growing up, I guess. So I guess you could say we knew each other growing up.
Insight check.
Yeah, correct.
That is a dirty 20 for insight.
Yeah, so, what, I think what you get, what she's saying is not untrue, but, there's a little bit of bashfulness on her end, that does not seem to be reciprocated on Marcus's.
So either they had a thing, they no longer do, but she still got residual feelings, or
I think the impression that you get is nothing really came to fruition between them.
Oh, Narco feels bad. Like, oh great, now I'm the other woman, at least from her perspective of the story. That's okay.
Note that Marcus looks unaffected. Like, it seems like he probably never really saw her in that kind of way.
I was very curious if this was going to give us sudden insights like, oh, Marcus definitely has a type for mechanic girls. Like, would explain a lot. Okay. Then yeah. While she goes to get the coin from wherever she's stashing it, Narco will look towards Professor and Ren and see if they want to do any looking about of this place to uncover any clues on what we might need to keep a lookout for on making it secure for the night.
Just give me 10 minutes, and I'll use detect magic. Specifically keeping
That
like
works.
magic and everything, but he is keenly interested to see if there's evidence of void magic, or at least residual void magic anywhere near this place.
Detect magic.
Yeah, you do his first and we can do mine. Mine's not nearly as fun.
Okay. So your detect magic goes up, Professor. You kind of take a look around, and it's like kind of catching a scent on a distant wind. Give me either an Arcana or an Insight check.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. There is nothing currently active here, Professor, but the signature of void is there.
He's kind of like crouched over on the ground, like fingers on the floor, and he kind of stands up, turns around, pulls his glasses off. He's like, "There was void here, not currently."
That's unexpected.
If it is the Red Hoods, then perhaps Lorenzo has been part of this.
That would probably be the best possible outcome. A worse outcome would be that several of the Red Hoods are playing with the void.
That would not be ideal.
Well, I was already expecting this was going to become an all-hands-on-deck sort of affair. That just makes it doubly true. How about you, Ren? Any insights on your end?
Ren's gonna try bumbling around to just doing like a mundane investigation check, which by the way he is absolutely terrible at. So let's see how he does.
Yeah, go for it.
Just Ren points to the ceiling like, there's a trapdoor. Do they know about that?
Ren is actually looking for a sewer grate in the ground to see if they came up through there. That is his brain after going through all the stuff at the Magic Academy.
Sure.
Actually, because Tremonto is literally like a fucking like island chain in a lagoon, this might be one of the few fantasy cities that doesn't have an absurdly large sewer underneath it.
Yep, probably not. Investigation, that's honestly better than I thought I was going to do.
14. I think
Yay, thanks.
on a 14, Ren, there are certainly no sewer grates here. This is a floating city. You're barely above the waterline, which doesn't actually explain why there's a crypt below the Temple of Joaquin, but
That's not the important part of the story.
don't look at the man behind the curtain.
Just we go down there, we open the secret passage, it's just all water. And it's like, oh, yeah, that tracks.
They wanted a natural burial. I see.
Maybe it's symbolic.
However, on a 14, I will say, good night, Ben.
Good night, Ben. We love you so much. Thank you for joining us.
I will say, on a 14, Ren, you do notice that there are, like, scratch and claw marks kind of intermittently along, like, the wooden floor of this, like, warehouse area. And you also spot, like, scorch marks, or the remains of scorch marks on the wall. They're faint, but you can kind of pick them out.
Oh, Ren will absolutely draw everyone else's attention to that. What do you make of them?
Do the claw marks seem like anything that we might be able to identify?
I think that, you know, they could be like, they could just be scrapes on the ground. They're not. They could be just scrapes on the ground from stuff being moved around. They could also be like, you know, they're not like deep enough to be like gouges, but they also could kind of look like, you know how like a cat or something walking across a hardwood floor, if they kind of like scurry too much, you know, sometimes they leave scratch marks in like the lacquer of the wood. It's kind of like that kind of stuff that you're seeing.
If it was a cat-like creature, are we talking regular kitty cat? Are we talking Yuki size?
Like their base.
Are we talking like giant frog?
Definitely more Yuki sized.
Oh. 12 stars, how could you?
And then scorch mark, same thing. Does it seem to be sort of chemically produced? Magic residue?
Hard to say, but definitely from like a source of fire.
Weird.
Well, Well, we have confirmed that the usual amount of nonsense will be afoot. Love that word.
Nonsense. So as you guys are doing this investigation, and it takes like the full 10 minutes that Professor is ritual casting detect magic, and you guys are kind of like looking at the floors and the walls. You see Livia kind of walks out of the office and she's scratching her head a bit. And she says, "I could have sworn I put it in my desk drawer." And she kind of looks at you, Nargo, apologetically. Says, "I'm sorry, I can't find the coin. I thought I put it in a secure place, and now it's not there anymore."
Quite odd.
Well, if these coins are as important to the Red Hoods as we have been led to believe, and the one in question realized he had lost it while out and about, it does make sense they would try to retrieve it if possible.
I can give you a better description of what it looked like. I stared at the thing for so long, if that helps at all.
Narco will pull out a sheet of paper. She will have Arby, her stencil bot, ready to go to sketch out exactly what she describes.
I love it.
She will describe a coin. Obviously, it's crimson in color. It has like the flat, you look at like a quarter, dime, whatever. It has like some of the coins have like the flat edge or like the ridged edge. She describes this coin as having a flat edge to it. One side of the coin has imagery of a balance scale that is kind of like it. The scale itself isn't balanced. Like one side of the scale is slightly higher than the other. So she says there's the imagery of a balance scale on the one side, and on the other side is an image of a feather.
But this is good to have as a backup in case we just need to counterfeit one for ourselves. Narco does not say that out loud, but that's what she's thinking.
Watching the drawing being made, the professor will manifest one, like a replica with his prestidigitation, and kind of like flash it for her to see, like, is this fairly close to what it looked like?
Professor, are you trying to like procure it like you've had it in your pocket, or are you like obviously casting like prestidigitation to like kind of reproduce it?
No, it's like a flourish of his hands, hidden by his cartomancer ability. So it looks more like he's just sort of flipping out from like as if almost he was palming it. So he just flips it out into his fingers. It's like, is this your coin?
Professor, give me a performance check with advantage.
Okay.
Livia looks at the coin that you flourish, and she kind of looks at you. She kind of gives you a bit of a quizzical, skeptical look, and she says, "Yes."
Would you go as far to say as this is exactly the same? This is it?
She apprehensively takes another step closer. She looks closer at the coin. She looks at you and she says, "Are you one of them?"
You are going to make people think you are stealing things. You keep this up.
I'm not stealing things. And he just sort of releases the magic on it, so it just sort of like evaporates out of his hands. Like, I just want to make sure that I have a close enough approximation if I need to use a real one.
There is
Oh,
a sigh of relief from Livia, and she says,
Oh.
Yes, that is what it looks like."
Perfect.
Oh, by the way, Professor, your showmanship is impeccable. You also very handily convinced the folks at the Sailor's Haven that you were in fact a member of the Red Hoods, and I got a report about it, so do be careful.
He just grins. He's like, well, that's
That
good.
is not a positive thing.
It is a positive thing, because if we need to get in there, or at least if we need to have a word with one of them, it's going to be a lot easier if they walk up to us than us sniffing around into a trap.
You are going to get arrested, and that will be more challenging for us to deal with.
I have dealt with the law plenty of times. Being arrested is not so bad.
Well, We should just be grateful that the Gold Watchers checked with me first, because I don't know if they would be inclined to have you removed as a potential, liability.
Removed from the terrible house of horrors where magic doesn't work. Please don't do it.
It is about past the point where we usually stop. Do we want to?
Yeah, I was gonna let this conversation play out, but this does feel like a good place to put the end point on for the evening.
That's fair.
Hell
Yay,
yeah.
we got in trouble.
It wouldn't be a Mystic Mechanicus adventure if you didn't.
Really wouldn't be.
I'll go see if
Very
Little Kitten wants to get on the video call for a sec.
Oh,
It's a baby. Make us all just coo. We'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
I will take nominations for the evening, although I am going to nominate Reverie myself.
That's fair.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a good escape plan.
That was amazing, and I did not anticipate
that was
that.
so good. I was
That
definitely expecting there to be like more people outside waiting for us if we got out.
So here's the thing. I thought that there might be more people, more PCs involved in that encounter, so I did have more monsters lined up, but when it was just the two of you, I was like, no, I gotta scale this back. Not knowing that Reverie was just gonna bamf out of there.
Yeah.
Everyone else in my house went to bed like before 10 o'clock, so no baby time right now. Sorry.
Oh,
It's all good. Thanks for checking on little guy.
I also want to nominate Narco for
Yes.
barely holding it the fuck together.
The professor's part of the Red Hood. Yeah, say.
oh my stars.
I am so surprised.
There's a specific response to this. Let me see if I can find it and post it. But yeah, I do second Reverie busting out the the dimension door to just bamf and just say no encounter tonight. Please and thank you.
Not interested.
Nope.
Bye.
No, thank you.
Bye.
I did like Jake nuking those shadows immediately.
That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
That was fun. That was fun for me. I enjoyed that.
Something else that I did not anticipate when I picked that, and then as I realized, oh wait, these things are vulnerable to Radiant, and they're going against the Cleric at 7,
Huh.
and these things are a CR 1/2.
Oh, yeah, no.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I feel like we learned a valuable lesson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've learned anything.
No.
Hey, Renner learned how to read people one time. It'll never
Proud of
happen
Ren.
again.
That was a
Ren's
big
proud
deal.
of Ren.
I did like Red giving Syrian the it was Syrian the stare down.
Yeah. Ren, he was doing stuff. Ren asked him for apples. The professor's like, no, you don't need to get him apples. And Ren is just like, are you sure you don't need to get me apples? I think you should get me apples. Apples are very important for the well-being of everyone in this party.
He's only doing it because he thinks you're going to reap his soul.
It could happen.
Not today. And not over
Hopefully not today. Probably not over apples.
165 HP is going to outlast all of us.
You cannot be 100% sure of anything. However, you are likely correct.
Oh man.
Turns out he's like a level 20, just like pretending to be inept, just keeping track.
I used what's
Oh no, man, that's a good act.
I used a gladiator stat block for him.
Oh yeah, that's a CR5. That's pretty beefy.
Yeah.
That's pretty beefy.
Um,
And that's why he's not getting his butt kicked.
Because he's too busy folding napkins and getting apples.
Doing a really good
Yep.
job, okay?
Tell me you're a gladiator without telling me you're being a gladiator.
So he's being a very good gladiator because he's hiding the fact that he's a gladiator, so his enemies
That
won't
is.
know.
He's hiding in plain sight, man. I'm proud of him.
Mhm.
But gladiators, by their very profession, are all about like being very, very seen. Like, there's a reason they're an alternate of the entertainer background.
mhm.
Good times.
Professor was good with
Mhm.
his coin flourishing.
Mhm.
Coin flourishing, that's definitely getting him noticed by people he probably doesn't want.
He
He's gotta
definitely
get
wants
arrested.
Getting arrested does not help us.
And totally like
something on him.
I also like him totally taking on like the role of Syrian's like mentor slash like commander.
I love it.
This is just I don't know what
Syrian,
you're talking about.
Ren made an effort to commandeer him for personal use. Like, no, he's
What are you
mine.
talking about effort? I succeeded.
You can't have it.
That is my apple picker now. It's precious to me.
Ren, you've got
Hilarious.
Jar Jar, you've got Dave, you've got Scully.
Uh-huh.
You do really need another pet. You've got a goblin too, I'm pretty sure.
I do. I like that goblin.
He just gathers everybody.
He does. Everybody
Mhm.
follows him. I don't know why. It's weird. Good times.
Excuse me. Yuki was
Yeah, me
really good.
too.
Sticking to her guns.
Yep.
Stick
And
it.
trying to be helpful.
Sticking to her.
She's
Yeah.
trying.
I saw you trying. You made
Mhm.
such an effort. It
She's
didn't work.
trying. That's fine. She tried. Because Yuki still like she still puts the mantle of protector on herself, and because she wasn't there when they got attacked, she feels really bad
Aw.
about it, but she still has other feels, so she's just gonna sit and I don't know, try to work through her other feels at the same time, making
Feels
sure
are the
that
worst.
they don't get attacked again. Yeah.
Mhm.
hmm
Um,
Gonna go great if Jade and Reverie dip out the window and Yuki doesn't know. So
What you mean? Panic attack inducing? Sure.
hmm.
That's weird.
and that's when Yuki multiclasses into a blood hunter.
I would do it.
Uh,
And saying something more terrifying.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with Reverie with Naruko.
Nice.
nice.
Good choices.
Well earned.
Great. I get back that inspiration I spent on that net one earlier tonight.
Yeah.
Worth it.
I'm trying to remember what the
Great.
net one was for. I think it was an insight check.
Probably. Yeah, that sounds right.
I think so.
I gotta take off and take care of the girls. You guys have a great night. Bye,
Good
everybody.
night.
I'll be right back.
Okay. So how close to that red line is Narco?
That depends pretty much entirely on what state she finds the rest of you in when she gets back from her errand.
Yeah. We'll find out.
Everyone needs Naruko to be in control, so she's staying in control right now.
Yuki's being obedient. She's Yuki's trying. She's being a good obedient little mystic mechanicus.
Is Yuki scared of Naruto?
No, she's not scared of Narco. She appreciates the fuck out of Naruko for reaching out to her after the conflict. Nobody else checked on Yuki. Like, Professor and Yuki had a conversation just because he walked by. Like, nobody checked on Yuki after she walked away. Except Naruko. It's a big deal in Yuki's book.
Yep.
Well, Professor and Narco checked on her because I mean, you guys yada yada the conversation, but the conversation could well have been the professor checking on Yuki.
Yeah.
So the only person who really didn't would have been Ren because Reverie and Jade left and went a different way.
Mm.
And to be in all honesty, it's probably because Reverie doesn't know what's happening because
Yeah.
Ben didn't know. So
Yeah. I sent him like a quick synopsis. I was like, "Hey, blah, blah, blah."
yeah, I had said something too, but I think he is just so mentally drained after work
know.
anymore that he was like, "What's happening?" And I'm like, "Oh fuck, I don't think he remembers the thing that happened." Because Reverie definitely would have checked on Yuki.
Yeah.
Like in the conversations that happened. So
Mm.
Jade definitely didn't.
Yeah. No.
Like Jade for sure didn't, but like I think the only person who like actively did not would have been Ren.
Yeah.
But not for any other reason, not for any like malicious reason. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Narco wants to fix things. Her whole pushing of Yuki to stay behind with the rest was to maybe the two of them will talk to each other.
Yuki was gonna try, but Jade shut the door in her face. It's a pretty clear.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Naruko has made a very firm realization that you cannot be subtle and indirect with Jade.
Mm.
It does not work.
No.
So you have to fight and push through and get her to engage. And she does not blame Yuki if Yuki is not ready for that. It just means that Naruko is going to have to do it instead, and we'll see how that goes.
We will.